Oh, you ate all your snacks?
Oh, bubble tea.
Oh. Is that The Last of Us?
Yes. Did you watch it already?
I recognize the guy's voice. The guy with the mustache. He was from Game of Thrones. Do you remember him? He had a funny accent in the show. And I think he was like a king or something of one of the other places. Shit. What episode is that? So it's a continuation from wherever somebody left off? So you watched it since start? You watched it, okay. I think I'm at episode 2, 3 or 4. I just started watching it the other day. I'm always watching whatever Bubba's watching. No. So whenever I get the chance to watch something other than YouTube, I take the opportunity. Those buns are really fresh, and I got nice sandwich meat inside the fridge. Those buns are like chewy. Yeah, they're quite good. And there's still lettuce in there. So you can make like a nice lettuce, cheese, mayo, salt, pepper, and ham and sandwich.
Have you done it?
Of course.
For Bubba?
Uh-huh.
Does he like it?
Oh, I'll make it for Bubba. I'm offering it to you. What you should do, if you don't mind me suggesting, the most important thing for you, I would say, is that when you're not working. Okay, so what I would do is this. I would be consistent with my fasting. I would not eat breakfast at all. And I would not eat lunch at all. I would eat whatever I wanted at dinner time. Yeah, and then I would stop eating at 8. That will give your body a chance. Most important is don't eat breakfast. Most important is do not eat breakfast. And if you feel yourself getting hungry, fill yourself with water, like that drink that I drink. I'm not telling you to drink it, but I'm telling you that it has a nice flavor to it. And when I drink it, it satiates any kind of a desire that I'm looking for. I don't think water would have the same effect placebo-wise. Does that make sense? And I think a lot of the times you eat out of boredom as opposed to actually being hungry, because I don't think you can be that hungry all the time. I think because your habit of eating out of boredom is there, your body's used to feeling really full all the time. So the minute it doesn't feel like that, it registers as being hungry. Does that make sense? Huh? So a good step would be just try. Just try skipping out on breakfast. See how long you can make it comfortably before it becomes the only thing you think about is eating. And write that time down. This is important too, because if you write it down, you'll see progress or regression in your efforts. You know what I'm saying? No. So you skip breakfast, and then you're like, oh, I'm hungry. That's okay, I'm trying to fast. And you don't think about it for a while. Then later on, you're like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. Write that time down. Because that's the time. Are you listening? Here, I'll say it again. Please try to listen. I'm trying to help, legitimately. So, while you're skipping your meals, when it becomes too much for you, as far as wanting to skip, you have to eat now. You know what I mean? I'm just too fucking hungry. Write that time down. That's the time that you gave in to your hunger as opposed to carry on with your task. And then just keep track of only that time. And then you'll be able to register whether or not you're able to curb your appetite or if you're just giving in. So that's going to give you small, tiny goals. Like, I would say one of the most important things when you're doing what you're doing is to be able to recognize when you're making progress, because this is what fuels the effort. You know what I mean? So do you understand what I'm asking you now? Like, so you skip breakfast. Around noon, you're like, I'm hungry. You're like, I could go a little bit longer. And then around 2 o'clock, you're like, holy fuck, man, I have to. I'm just too hungry. So write down 2 o'clock. And then the next time that you are like super freaking hungry and you have to give in, maybe it's 2:30. You're like, oh, I was able to go an extra half hour. That little mental thing there is what will help you to keep going. Because you'll see that you made a positive, progression. You're like, I made it to 2:30. And then you're like, oh, I made it to 3. And you're like, this is easy. I'm not even hungry. Because your body works on a clock, on an internal clock. How often do you wake up without your alarm? Right, because your body knows when it needs to start doing things, right? So make your body aware of when it eats. Right? Subconsciously, your mind and your body, right? You'll see, it'll help you out a lot. Because making minor achievements or mild achievements, it's not easy to recognize unless you take note of them. But if you take note of it, you'll see mild progression, and that will definitely make you feel like, okay, I can do this, you know? And then after a while, it'll just become easy for you. Like, oh yeah, I got this. And then once you're eating only at nighttime, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. And and as much as you want. Okay, well then just flip your night for, I don't know how, you have to choose one time a day within a 24-hour period that best suits you for when you feel like eating whatever the hell you want. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying your metabolism is the same as mine. However, if when your body is putting out exertion, whether it be work or thinking or whatever, you see, I think I'm thin well, able to lose weight relatively easily still, even at my age, because when I'm at work, my brain is in overdrive because I have to think about all the things that are, relative and important to what's happening. Plus, I'm physical, so I'm burning energy in two different ways. I would imagine your job is kind of the same because you have people's health. You're in control of that. So if you make a mistake, real people suffer real consequences. So this is what I would do if I had, if I were you and I was trying to do something. Recognize small goals. Find a time which suits you best to satiate your hunger. And keep on trucking. What's your goal? Just to try to lose some of the fat and lower your cholesterol kind of thing? Yeah, but starving doesn't make you healthy. And you eat pretty healthy anyway, so cleansing is kind of, it's not really what you're doing either, right? Yeah. You could do that by, you know, my mom's second husband, Bernie, his they're Jewish. The his father would would swim every day. They had a pool at the house, so he could do that. But he would swim every day for an hour, or he would go every day. He would walk as well. If you walk 45 minutes a day, you'd be surprised at what that'll do for you. Just like every day, take a walk. They say 45 minutes is a great. So like if you walk all the way to number 5 road and then up to Canby and then, you know, home, that's probably a great loop, or going to do laps in the park, but it's not the same. If you're just doing laps, it's kind of boring, right? Well, you got the park over here, the nature park. However, there's a lot of weirdos around here. There's a lot of like homeless people camping in the bushes and stuff, and I would imagine the nature park is definitely on their radar because it's like you just said, nobody's going there. So I'd be a little worried. You might not be, but it is a reality.
go to non-baker?
When? Who? So you, me, Baba, and Mimi? Her daughter? Maybe. How long is this hike? What? Because I also gotta be careful about how I abuse my knees. More important that I am able to do anything it is climb a mountain. Fortunately. But it does sound like something I wouldn't mind efforting to do.
We don't cook anymore.
Book what? You have to book an outdoor trip? Oh, you want to go for the weekend? Huh? You can ask Baba, but
It's so the clearing at the top. Amazing.
I used to work in Whistler. I've climbed it. I think you and I even climbed up. We never went to over the crest of it. I thought, who the hell did I take?
The special lake up.
Yeah.
No, they never took me at all. We never did anything. Since I had this experience, first time in Sweden or Norway, I realized how much I love it. Especially the because of the altitude. The air is so fresh, and the ice or the snow is still up there. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I've been there.
Have an experience like that. It doesn't matter where, but I want to see what it feels like. It's not like the pictures. Pictures don't do justice until you make the effort to work.
Having been there, I understand.
Yeah, I don't think he has ever been to a mountain park. Or the ocean filled with, fishes, that kind of stuff. I want to take him, but he doesn't know how to swim.
He knows how to swim.
Huh?
He knows how. Yeah, he does.
That's not swimming.
How come you don't? How come you don't let people be who they are as opposed to? No, I'm asking you a question. It's a legit question. Why is it that you You want other people to be this or that.
Okay. I
Well,
want you to be safe.
well,
I would like to expose you to things that are not safe.
that's what you want. That's exactly what I'm asking you. Have you asked him? Have you?
Him along on these trips. Along.
Okay, why are you getting emotional?
Because you don't see nothing.
I'm asking you a legit question.
Why do you think I do this?
That's what I'm asking.
Maybe you
Have you asked him? Okay, when you're finished, can I ask a question? See? See? You can't even let me ask a question. But you want to tell me a story. You literally can't let me ask you a question. Kathy, do some soul searching first. And then maybe we'll try to have a conversation. You want to know something? You probably don't. I should give my respect. Since Kai's been born, I've shown him a menu of things. I've not asked for him to be this or do that or do this or do that. You know, he was in his taekwondo, it really wasn't his thing. So he let him stop. I didn't want to force him. Had I forced him, he'd probably be a taekwondo master right now. But it's not what he wants. Do you want to be a taekwondo master? Huh? You'll be healthier. Maybe I want you to be a taekwondo master before I die. I want to turn someone into a taekwondo master. It is just, it's the same thing. Choosing things and rejecting things that do or don't fit into your narrative, it's not smart. Listening and comprehending other perspectives is smart. You know, on these job sites that we go to and other job sites that I've been on in my entire life, just because you're the best fucking mechanic, or you're the best machinist, or you're the best plumber, or you're the best this, or you think you're the best, doesn't mean that you know everything. And do you know what is really the determining factor on how problems get solved? This is a legit thing I'm about to tell you. This is 54 years of learning in life. So you can listen or you can play your game, up to you. But it's not what you know, it's how you see things. And everybody sees things from a different point of view or perspective, which means that their point of view is valid. And it's worth listening to, at least. Doesn't mean you have to do it. But it means that you have to hear them out, put yourself into that perspective, embrace it, and figure out whether or not it's valid or applies to the situation. You know, like suctioning a wound. Is there only one way to do that? Or are there different ways? Is Oak Street the only viable option to get downtown? Yet, which path do you take downtown almost every time? Do you ever take Granville? My point being that just because something makes sense to you doesn't necessarily mean that it's valid for someone else. You know, you might think it makes sense to spray paint at 50 psi where other people think it's best to spray at 30 psi because there's less overspray, right? It's it's all of these things are relative. So if you were moved by this experience when you went to Sweden and it's motivated you to become an outdoor hiker, that's amazing. That's great. And for you to share that with others is also very nice, especially if you care about them and you want to share your experiences with them. However, if it's not something that moves them, can they not just be happy sharing your experience? Or, or do you have to make these people do these things in order for you to be happy? Because they might not be getting the same thing out of it as you. And I'm not saying Baba won't enjoy hiking. Maybe it's maybe it's his next greatest, coolest thing. But have you asked him? That's my point to you. Do you not understand what I'm saying? So, Kathy, I think you're missing it. The point of what I'm trying to say to you is that you have a valid perspective and your operating system revolves around your perspective. That's how you navigate life. That's not how everybody navigates life. Do you understand? So, therefore, if you're enjoying something, offer that on the menu and see if anybody orders it. And if they do, give them the best version of it. You know?